Afternoon, everyone. Welcome back all. I hope everyone is settled. Myself, Valerie, and I would like to introduce you to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Dr. Anuya Nisar. She is the founder and CEO of Cerigen Medi Products, a company recognized for its innovation and tissue regeneration products, holding a PhD in chemical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, and a master's degree in material science and engineering from University of Delaware, USA. Dr. Anuya is a notable figure in the field of medical science and material engineering. Before starting Cerigen, she gained experience as a scientist at GE Plastic John Rush Technology Center. Her journey in scientific research reached new heights during her tenure as a principal scientist at the Polymer Engineering and Science Department at CSIR NCL. Here, she led a dynamic group in research spanning polymers, biomaterials, medical devices, and tissue engineering. Her commitment to advance scientific knowledge is evident through her leadership in various projects, collaborating in CSIR, DPT, DSC, SIR, and BIRAC. Her contributions have resulted in 27 peer-reviewed journal publications and 7 patent families. Series many products under her leadership have received recognition, including the National Award for Technology Innovation in Polymers in Public Healthcare in 2019-20. The company was also a finalist in the National Bio-Entrepreneurship Competition in 2017 and won the National Empowered Thai Women Global Competition in 2021. Her achievements have been acknowledged through various awards, including Indian National Academy of Engineering Young Entrepreneur Award in 2020, the Leaders in Innovation Fellowship from the Royal Academy of Engineering UK in 2019, and Vasvik Award in 2021, and the Thai Biotechnology Award for Women in Entrepreneurial Research in 2019. Dr. Anya Nisar is a figure of innovation, entrepreneurship, and leadership in dynamic intersection of science and engineering, propelling celebrated products to new heights of success and recognition. I request Nita Madam to come on stage and share her story as a researcher in the world of business.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Professor Aniket and the team at IRSHA. Thank you for giving this opportunity. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, share. So, just I'm going to talk today about how uh, more focused on academic entrepreneurship. It is how about the research that I did at NCL and how we have translated it into. So we focus a little bit beginning on what was the foundation that we did at NCL and what are the mechanisms that actually enabled me to take this forward. So, Uh, so, as the title said, we are we are an innovative startup that uses natural silk protein for development of various tissue regeneration products. Uh, so, the flagship technology biofuel silk, right? So, silk, as you all know, it is an ancient material that has been used in the textile industry for thousands of years. It is known for its luster, shine, royalty, has been the material of choice for kings, queens, and even continues to be the. So what exactly is silk? So silk is see what is common in all this. All these insects invariably have a gland that actually secretes this or synthesizes this material. There is a device or a capillary through which it is transported to an opening in the insect device. And then there's an opening through which the material comes out. Right? So that is common amongst all these insects. It typically comes in the form of a fiber. All these spiders or insects use silk for various different applications. Spider silk, for example, itself has various different types that the spider secretes. For example, if you look at the spiders, there's something that goes radially outwards, there's something that connects it globally. These are two different types of proteins, right? And when a spider is attacked by a prey, it has the ability to just hang down from its weight. And that is the concept on which our Spider-Man is also, or the concept has evolved, right? That such a thin thread of few tens of microns has the ability to sustain the weight of the spider, right? So each of this protein has a different chemical structure. So the primary sequence in the protein is different. So the spider uses silk not only to catch different prey can actually get entangled in the spider web or escape itself from the prey. Whereas the silkworm actually uses a silk to make a cocoon around itself. So when it metamorphosizes into a moth, it uses this cocoon as a protection for itself. It's a housing that it has formed around itself. Right? There are others like honey. Others like honey and so there are others like honeybee, wasp, lacewing. They use this for various different indications, right? Uh, what we work with is more specifically is the silkworm silk. Now, India is the only country globally that produces four different types of silkworm silk. That is the Bombyx mori silk, Muga, Eri, Tussar. Okay, so silk has been declared as a biogoods in India. Uh, the Muga, Eri, Tussar, these are mostly white silkworms. Muga mostly belongs to the Assam region or the West Bengal region. So do Eri and Tussar. These are mostly found in the northeastern states and in the eastern regions of India. Bombyx mori, which is more commonly known as the mulberry silk, is what we work with. This is more in the south. So the states of Maharashtra, you'll have Telangana, Karnataka, all these states may be producing this type of mulberries. Now, what differentiates mulberry from these other silks is that, so this is how the mulberry silkworm grows. This silkworm will exclusively feed on mulberry leaves, right? So it will die, but it will not eat anything else. So we had done a very interesting experiment where we were feeding these silkworms with color so that they directly produce color silk and you don't have to dye the silk for any color silk saree, right? And there we saw that even the concentration of the color is increased significantly. They are unable to recognize this as a food. So their sensory organs actually recognize the mulberry leaves as a and they will only eat the mulberry leaves. So because of that, what happens is the quality of silk that you get is of a very, very consistent quality. So reproducibly year after year, value after value, you will get very good quality of silk. And that is the reason mulberry silk is the one that we chose to work with. Eri, Muga, Tussar, these silkworms actually feed on what is available in the wild, and therefore the quality of silk from batch to batch or silkworms will vary. Right? Now, the Bombay for a silkworm, actually, this is how the cocoon looks like. So, if you look at each individual thread of the cocoon is made of a single thread which is 4 to 5 kilometers long. So, the silkworm actually spins it around itself and it makes that. So, this is how it looks. Threads. The silkworm has two silk glands which come close together at the mouth of the silkworm, from which the fibroid thread is actually secreted out. So you have these two threads that are coming out. They are coated by a glue-like protein called a sericin. And sericin is actually the glue that gives the cocoon the shape. Just holds this together. While brine is the protein that actually gives silk its shine, the luster, the mechanical properties, the structural properties, everything comes from this brine protein. Um, so when you buy a raw silk saree in the market, it has a very starchy finish. Right? That is actually sericin. So when sericin is not removed from the silk thread, you will see that the finish is more rough to feel. Whereas when you buy the Mysore silk saree, it is something where the silk sericin has been completely removed with pure cotton. And that is why the cost of those sarees also increases. So that is a very quick introduction to what silk we work with, right? So what does why is it such an attractive material? So here what I've done is being a person from the material side, I tend to emphasize a little more. If you look at the Bombay silkworm fiber, it has a tensile strength, which is ability to deformation, it's about zero point 0.5 gigapascal. The only synthetic material today that is available that has a strength greater than that is Kevlar, 3.5 gigapascal. But along with that, you can also extend the silk thread. Also, the elongation that silk thread can do is about 15%. And the balance strength with elongation that this natural fiber can have, today none of the synthetic materials have that. So the spider silk actually has a tensile strength that is even higher. We have read about it. That is the reason the spider and movie also uses the spider silk. Actually. But again, the same problem. If you have to Rare the spider in a controlled environment getting good quality. Spiders are cannibalistic, so they will kill each other, and growing spider silk in a very controlled quality. And that is the reason spider silk has got so much of more attention. And second is, although the silk has been used for so long in the textile industry, there is another very interesting application of silk that is not very well known to the common man, is its medical application. The thread that comes from the cocoon has also been used to stitch wounds. Okay, so it has a medical use to it. It has been reported in our ancient literature. More than 120 years ago, Johnson and Johnson, a global medical device company, started selling sterile silk sutures in the market. So the thread was converted into a sterile form, and even today, doctors use sterile silk sutures for internal surgical operations that they do. Right now, when you use that kind of a thread inside into your body, what happens is there is a lot of data to show that at the initial point, after implantation or when the body sees the thread, you have an initial inflammatory response in the first 3 to 7 days, which tends to subside over a few weeks, and then the material is known to be biocompatible. So there is enough clinical history to show that this is something that the body can tolerate. So if you look at it as protein, so it has a very stable amount. When you have an enzyme like protease or collagen, you can actually break this apart. So the cell will glide into your body of peptide amino acid and will eventually flush away from the body system. Right? So this is what makes it interesting. That it has chemistry, like you know, the and it also absorbs the body. So as I mentioned, Johnson and Johnson 1887 was the first company started producing. What has changed and why is there more interest around silk more easily is that in the 90s, the foods they use like in pan. When they dissolve silk, they just started bombing cocoons, cut it into small parts. When you dissolve it in using a basic solution and alkaline solution and boil it for 30 minutes, the skeleton protein actually come out. What you're left with is a muscle fibrin protein. And from this fibrin, you're actually able to come out which they can get a nice solution of fibrin in the water. This was very interesting to the researching community because till now, these areas with fibers for various medications. But the moment I can convert it into solution, I can then shape into different products. And therefore, I can think of other solutions. And this was like a game-changing moment in the civil literature, right? So at NCL, when I joined and did my PhD, we also tried this and we were able to make various different forms of it. So what shown you here is a transparent film that we have made by solvent casting. We put nanoparticles on the silk. We made use non-woven mat of nanofibers of silk, decorated it with nanoparticles and other functionalities so that can tune how cells interact with it. We were able to show we can actually accelerate the generation of silk and form hydrogel silk, which form good applications in tissue regeneration. We could make these robust functional coatings using silk for various implant applications and so on. Right? So this was something that was very exciting to us. Now, this is exciting because the moment we make a scaffold or a material out of silk of a different shape, we can actually put it or implant it in the patient's body because we know that silk is biocompatible. So let's say you have a defect in an organ or in your tissue. This scaffold can be implanted. It recruits the cells from the neighboring region in the tissue. And the cells actually attach onto this biomaterial and you grow. They start multiplying there, they start differentiating into various. And eventually, what we will have is cells populate and ingress the scaffold completely. Now, you can make the scaffold to dissolve at a certain rate at which new tissue is forming. This could be a material that could help it. regenerating the true or repairing the defect. And that is why this became very exciting for us. So one such unique scaffold that we had prepared out of silk was this one that I'm showing here. So what we came up with was a very unique process by which we could make silk microparticles. These microparticles were very crystalline in nature, and we also figured out a process by which we could convert into a scaffold that was as hard as bone. Okay. So this is how it looked. We could make these microparticles out of silk. These were very spherical in shape. They were monodispersed. We could stick them together to make a scaffold. The sticking was very uniform. It had about 150, like around 4 sizes, which means that cells could nicely go inside into the scaffold. It had a bulk porosity of about 40 to 65, which is more than your cancel bone porosity. The mechanical properties of what we had was around 20 megapascal, which is exactly like your cancellous bone again, right? And we showed to a certain extent that the cells can attach, they can grow, they proliferate on this, they differentiate on this, right? So, so we also had quite a couple of patents around how we make these scaffolds. And that is when me and my colleagues thought, how do we want to take this forward? You know? Uh, as an academic, typically you do the research till here. At the most, you do a few annual studies, and then how do you take it forward is always the question in front of. One is, of course, continuing doing more research, doing more academic study. How can you improve scaffold further, and so on. Is there possibility of licensing the technology? Right? But generally, the technology at Pure is at such an early stage that no company will want to license. There are so many people who have published scaffolds made of Python, made of silk, made up of something else. Companies will not license the technology at early stage because it is a long path that goes beyond. That is when we thought, can we send this off into a startup company? But before we did that, what we did was we went and spoke to, we gave such talks at multiple hospitals, not only in Pune, but Delhi, Bangalore, and spoke to surgeons, showed them the materials that we had, and tried to understand from them, is there a need that is there? What are the materials that are currently? Do you really see there is an application for this gap? And then only after you're convinced that yes, we can actually solve some really challenging problems, we decide to spin off a company. So that is actually the genesis of Cell. Basically, it was a startup where we visualized that we will use the material science of natural protein to develop medical products based on silk. So, although I'm talking here, this is in collaboration with two of my colleagues, Dr. Rina. Some of you might have had a chance to interact with him. He's again a chemical engineer by training, just like me. He did PhD from MIT, and he had a lot of expertise in biomedical products. He has licensed technology, commercialized orthopedic plants in the past. So therefore, there was an expertise, a team that we could actually leverage, take it forward, right? And he also has experience of setting deep tech science startups. He's the founder of NCS Incubator. So along with him, we set it up. And while both of us are chemical engineers by training, it's very important to have a complementary skill set that is like Swati is a PhD from Pune University. She brings in the complementary skill sets of life science domain into the company. And this is the core technology that we currently work on. So this is the raw material that we buy from the farm, convert it into a solution, and our patents actually talk about how we convert the solution into these different metal products. So currently we have these three products that we are working with. Cerios, which is an orthopedic product, Cerimat, which is a breast cancer product, and Cerita, which is an advanced wound care product. I'll talk a little more about that, but since so I won't talk a little company, but you can just pause and in case there are questions around till in the academic only, and then I can just how the startup is evolving.
My question is, as a researcher, then how do you decide where to stop and your research whatever you have done is ready to market. Obviously, it has to go in the process of R&D in an but where do you guide as a researcher that your product is really applicable to the market?
I think for us to take that decision with interactions with a lot of doctors, people whom we thought would be the final customer of the product that we're making, actually helps a lot. The right product is not. Of course, there are multiple stages in between and it would have failed at any stage that we're developing. But that conviction that if we are able to do this, yes, there is a customer who will pay for it. I think that came only after that interaction. And even today, I think that is something that we as a team try to do, that we continuously, on our deliverables, we actually have that about how many doctors have you met in month and how many surgeons are you. Because they are the final people who are going to use the product. They find it useful, and unless they find it helping in certain ways, to go forward. So for us, I think doing that, talking to various hospitals, talking to various surgeons, presenting, showing them the figures that we had, understanding from them what they were using, and then really trying to whether this can make a difference there, was a turning point to decide if there is potential to use it.
Thank you.
Are there competitive in the market with their products?
Yes, but we have data that compared to any of the global products, we outperform them by a factor of 2 in wound healing, for example. Sedative is outstanding. Segos, we have seen much better data in our clinical trials. So
you find application in plastic surgery?
Yes, huge application. In fact, plastic surgeons are our biggest customers for all the three products. Yeah, I will talk about that in each of the products, how we are using detail. Yeah, so building up on Doctor's question. So Serios, which is a product, this is a product that can be used to fill cavities in the bone. So cavities in the bone can be formed either due to accident, sometimes due to infection, or due to bone cancer. Right? Now, typically when you have a cavity in the bone, the surgeon will osteoporosis also, but osteoporosis generally the fracture of the bone where you need a metal plates. Cavities are not very common there. You need bone cement. Bone becomes porous there. So there are other medicinal impacts. So basically, if you have a cavity in the bone, like what is here, which is the surgeon will use a plate and a screw on the top to actually connect the bone, but he needs something to fill up in his cavity. So what will he use to put material over there so that new bone actually. So 75% of the time when an orthopedic surgeon sees this kind of a cavity, he does what's called as orthography. So if you have, let's say, your cavity in your hand, he will take out bone from the hip region and he'll actually plug it into that. That is orthography. Okay. Now it is your bone, your body readily accepts that. Model, really good quality. So it is the gold standard in the industry, having the gold standard. It has its limitations. So you need two surgeries that need to be done. If you have one fracture, you already have it. The bone needs, which means the means longer hospitalization, longer recuperation time of the patient. There is a wound and a scar that you have to treat it for your life. So, in so say an osteoporotic patient, for example, you cannot take out bone from the child you cannot take. So pediatric orthopedic surgeon actually told that when a parent comes to me with a child having a fracture, the most difficult part is to tell them that I'm going to operate one more surgery when child has operate a bone from the hip region and I'm going to correct it. That is the most difficult part to explain to parents, that it's not one or two surgeries on the child. Right? Sometimes the child bone cannot taken out, then the mother has to match that. So all these limitations are there. Ideally, that you have a synthetic material that you can just take to this cavity. So, not we who first thought about it. There are, of course, various metals, polymers, ceramics, blends, composites, so all this that have been there in the market for the past 30, 40 years. But none of them actually match the performance. So, let's say hydroxyapatite is one ceramic material that the doctor uses. He fills it in the cavity. It is the same material. So, bone forms around very nice. The material. So, what happens if the child falls? After 14 years, 15 years, that still remains a weak link in you. So if you fall again, there's high chance that you have a fracture. So post-surgical complication like this, something that doctors frequently see in case of synthetic bone. So that was our motivation that we should develop something that retains the convenience of use of a synthetic material, but it should match the performance. Right? So that was our solution. We can make cellulose in various forms, shapes, and sizes. The block that you're seeing here has the same mechanical strength like a bone. So it will feel as hard as your natural bone. It has 40% porosity again like your cancellous bone. The porosity is interconnected. It means that when the cells migrate into the scaffold, they actually thrive in this kind of environment because they know that environment. It is an environment that they are used to, right? Therefore, the quality of bone that is formed is actually 2x in terms of all bone parameters. So simple experiment that we've done here is these are three commercially available, well-known materials that are not only used by Indian doctors but also globally. These are companies. For example, Similan is from Biocomposites, Kronos from Depu, which is a Johnson and Johnson company. Trialsite is from Zimmer, right? So these are three leading medical device manufacturers. And when we seeded stem cells on all, and we looked at how does the stem cell convert into a bone-like cell differentiation of cell into a bone like it. So it will show that cellulose in all bone repair parameters and then integrated. That means when we implanted this in a rabbit model, so in the rabbit in the left thigh we had cellulose, in the right thigh actually we had stimulant. So same animal like this. We have bone and we have and after 90 days when we looked at the rabbit, 50% of the rabbits that had stimulant had fracture. Now, in a patient, what you do is you tell the patient you cannot move. You can't do that to a rabbit. Rabbit was in a cage and it kept jumping. Right? So when they jumped, 50% of the rabbits actually had a fracture because of stimulant. But none of the rabbits that had cellular actually showed the fracture. Now, this is exactly a post-surgical complication that you see in human patients, and therefore doctors were very happy to see this kind of work. Now, once we prove this efficacy, there is a test called as ISO. This is a global biocompatibility standard. So whenever you develop a medical, before you can do a clinical trial, there is a standard that specifies a battery of 9 different tests that you need to do to show that your material is safe for implantation. Although silk has been used as a suture, it was never used in bone. We are the world first company to say that bone can successfully used in silk can successfully be used in bone repair, right? So we did this battery of tests to show that it's safe, it is biocompatible, has no toxicity to the. So we are the first company to do a clinical trial. This was done at Sancheti Hospital here in Pune. Dr. Chetri Pradhan, the assistant medical director at Sancheti, led the clinical trial. And in 10 patients, we implanted cellulose. I'm very happy to share that we saw very good bone formation in all the 10 patients. No complications. The patients were monitored for their liver function, all organ functions. There were X-ray done at time point. There was CT scan that was done at different time point. And we were able to see that very good newborn formation in all the patients. The return to functionality. So how far the patient can come back to normal. For example, how much can move the hand after 15 days. All of those parameters were actually much better than all the conventional materials that the doctors use, right? So we have now got a permission to do a follow-up clinical. Sanjay is on board. We have two other very famous hospitals, PGH Chandigarh, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, who is doing the clinical trial. So this is the second phase clinical trial. post which we will be able to launch cellulose in the market. Right. Now, just like you are using an autograph or a bowl, any questions on cellulose, we can just take a short break. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to ask, like, how much will be single class cost?
The clinical trial cost actually can vary significantly, so I cannot give a specific number. Depends on how many patients you do. There you do it, whether you do it in a government hospital, whether you do it in a private hospital. What are the studies that you need to do? Of which is a routine treatment. So some of those the doctor has to, the patient has to be, some of them has to be sponsored by company. So it's a very variable cost that I cannot put yeah.
So it's like implant.
Yeah.
Just for the implant, they will measure in some millimeter and maybe 3D printed. So how exactly this material is soft, we can, or you have to.
So this is a hard block, or we have it in pellets also. So some of it the surgeon can scrape the help of a needle to just fill it in if he has to be It's not. We also have it in the form of powder. They want it in use as powder, but the block what it requires is it has to be attached to the neighboring bone because unless that happens, the cell will not migrate. So typically in bone modules they use these small pellets to fill up the cavity. That's how we have also
It is not degraded by the natural material.
curate your body over time. But the rate at which it degrades, for 6 months, nothing will happen to it because we made it highly crystalline. Over a 6 to 18 month period, it will slowly.
That not lead to any complications.
No, we have not seen. Our first patient has in fact completed 2 years of implantation. We have seen very good newborn formation in all the patients.
So it has to match the formation of new thing and duration.
Correct, correct. That is exactly what we have been able to match.
What happens to the degraded material? How will it clear up from the past?
So in silk, because it's a protein, what forms is actually amino acids and small peptides. Okay,
Sure.
and your body is able to flush them out from the side of inflammation.
I have a question. Does it activate the immune response?
Yeah. So silk, as I said, has been used for a very long, donkeys years. They're using silk shears. So the initially response of silk has been steady. We have it maybe also after we process it in the degree of tests that we did, there's an immunogenicity testing also that is done. We have not seen an immunogenic response in any of our patients. Or
Patients who
that is not the only test we did. I spoke about that, but the one we on 993 actually has a battery of 9 tests, which is geneticity, sensitization, irritation, genotoxicity, mutagenicity. So these different tests are actually done. Acute systemic toxicity,
Bone maybe
all of those, yeah, bone implantation. Multiple amounts been done before we got the permission to actually implant it.
in the bone it may be more less or immune response. Yes. So
Nowhere has a surgeon or a patient or an immunogenic response been a problem from. Even in sutures when they are
you talk about bone breast cancer.
Yes. So this is
Where
actually
there
able to
is maybe no.
we have not seen that. We have a clinical trial on that as well.
as it is used in bone cavities, have you also applied in dental cavities?
It can be used, but in dental cavities, these are typically small cavities, so the ceramic materials are good enough to look over there. So our target application is not dental. We're looking at large cavities which are formed mainly due to trauma or cancer. Cancer cavities today is very large and autografting is also not an option. For them, they rely on allografts, bone banks, and so on. So infection, transmission risk, and other complications are all this. So our first target market is definitely large cavities. Okay. So the second product, CMAC. The second product, Serimat, is actually a soft tissue regeneration product that can be used for breast reconstruction surgery. So when a patient has the cancer and a surgeon removes all the cancerous tissue, if you want to reconstruct the breast to the right shape and size, they put in a silicone implant. That right? So post mastectomy, the silicone implant is in there. Now imagine this. Most of the time, this thin skin of the breast is only, and your implant can weigh anywhere between 400 500 grams. So skin is not able to support the weight of that implant. So what surgeons do is they take a muscle from the, or sometimes they abdominal muscle, take a sling which they can actually place in the implant. Now to do that again, it becomes a very long procedure. It is another SAR, another. So here is saying that the mat can actually be used at the bottom pole of the breast, and you place a silicone implant to form a pocket that forms at bottom. It can be sutured to the chest muscle on the top, the abdominal muscle below, and therefore the implant remains sutured. So here we are in the process of doing a clinical trial. The Polo Hospital in Bangalore, this is another trial that we're looking at. And Seriderm is our third product which we have already launched in India. So Seriderm is a non-adherent absorbent wound dressing. What that means is if you have complex wounds like diabetic foot ulcers, second-degree burn, bed sores, these are wounds that give out an exudate. If you dress it with a hot wash, the wash tends to stick. So when you have to dress it, it is very painful for the patient. Second, it also disturbs the layer that breathing is okay. And that is the reason you have problems. Now, conventional wisdom was that you can just coat this cotton wool with Vaseline. Vaseline coated cotton wools are available in plenty in the market. What they do is they actually form this very nice non-adherent layer, but they can absorb the ingredient. Because of that, there are frequent problems with infection that happen at the wound site, or the wound cannot heal because it's too moist. The right amount of moisture environment is actually required at the wound. So we have made Seriderm non-adherent. Firstly, does not stick to the wound at all. It absorbs all the exudate that comes from it. And is packed with the goodness of silk proteins. Silk proteins actually have very good wound healing properties. And in a recent that we are writing up, we've seen that it actually stimulates certain cellular pathways because of which you see the capillary station. So in burn wounds, in diabetic wounds, in non-healing trauma wounds, we have seen very high benefits for this. This is already launched in India. We're selling it in Pune and Mumbai. We will presently expanding to other geographies. And that to establish this, we have also set up a pilot manufacturing facility. This is ISO 13485 certified. 13485 is a global medical device quality standard. So we are certified for that. We have all the necessary approvals here for manufacturing. The facility is actually very close, very from the state. So you all are welcome to come and see the facility where we do the manufacturing. So what I showed you is we have Serios, which is a bone product. We have Serimat, which is a cancer product. We have Seriderm, which is a skin product. But basically, it shows that the technology is powerful and versatile. Like Serios and Serimat are implantable devices. Seriderm is an external wound dressing. So it shows that the technology is very versatile and can be leveraged to target various different disciplines in tissue regeneration. Right? So we can actually bring in products which can cater to the entire tissue regeneration market. So currently we are working with certain key opinion leaders like doctors for each product, by doing some initial clinical studies or writing up manuals for us for doing the clinical study for Serios and Serimat. And launching it mostly super and multi-specialty hospitals in Taiwan first, followed by a later launch there. Also setting up our 16 and taking it forward from there. So this is a snapshot of where we are. We working on yours and Semat plan to launch. But US definitely are next. This is about 50% of the tissue division market. Working with a lot of distributors and channel partners to set up and maximize our product reach in all these ways. Right. Now, so that is more of how we are going to take it forward in the next few years. But as an academic, it's always about how you go about raising the funds. So I thought I'll just talk a little bit about how we have been supported. At an idea stage, we were very fortunate to receive grants from Department of Biotechnology, BIAC. We have grants to the tune of 3 to 4 crores now from BIAC for various stages of product development. Started with the BIG grant of 50 lakhs at the idea stage, and followed on with CISRI and DIPT, and we still have ongoing grants from BIAC. Practically over existence to BIAC in that sense. Of course, we as promoters always believed in this technology, and we have put in our own investment from the beginning. Three F's, friends, family, and fools. If you have a biotech product, it's very difficult to bring an angel investor. Because for us, we set up the company in 2015 when we had just an idea. Today, Serios is at first stage clinical trial completion, second stage ongoing, and then in the market, right? So it's a long journey. For someone to believe in that vision very early on is very difficult as an angel. When we did our preclinical studies, we were able to raise money and also bring on board angel investors. So post our studies in the lab and some studies in animals. This is something that we did in 2019. That supported a lot of our advanced studies. Currently supported mainly through seed and angel, and we do a VC round capital funding from next year to support the launch in the Indian market, setting up our own production facility, building market team, and so on. Right? Yeah, so that's so the academic journey has been, or the entrepreneurship has been a very rewarding journey. I've been recognized through this and throughout. Now, in addition to the grants, I think what brings immense satisfaction to us is the fact that we have been able to, make an impact on various sericulture or agriculture is a very mature industry in India. It employs more than 8.6 million people. India is the second largest producer of silkworm silk. We produce more than 25,000 metric tons. Very contrasting to this is our we import more than 85% of our medical devices. And actually, the statement that I'm telling was the problem statement my PhD advisor gave me when I started working on silk. So his vision was that can we actually bridge these two sectors, develop medical products that there's a market, there is a medical device industry, we have a very excellent bio resource. Can we actually bridge these two sectors and develop a commercial entity around? So this was his vision in 2010, long back, where we started with all this and wanted to develop. We are also very proud that even today we have a team of 15 people, 80% of them are women. We've been able to make a difference in the life of many women. So when we started, so this is basically our opportunity to contribute to nation self-reliant way before some of the Atmanirbhar Bharat movements were given. This started before that. We are very proud of the fact that we are a Make India thing coming from a national lab in India and also supported by the Startup India team. I also want to encourage each of the students here to to take up academic entrepreneurship as a third career option. A lot of times you have PhD students doing their PhDs, doing their postdocs. Immediately after that, we'll be looking at the third career option as getting into academic institute, becoming a professor, teaching, research, right? Or the second option they look at is industry. If I don't get into academic, I'll get into industry. I think academic entrepreneurship is a very, very satisfying and liberating experience. So I would really encourage if anyone of you is interested in that, happy to talk to you more about that. MIT, for example, there was a report in 2014 that showed that they today have 30,200 active companies, which has employed 4.6 million people so far. And the annual revenues of the order of 1.9 trillion. Right? There's no reason India cannot do it, or we as a Pune being the Oxford of the East cannot do that. So I think this I find very, very motivational. What has helped me in my journey is at NCL, we have had a culture that has been very supportive of academic entrepreneurship. Dr. Mashayekar way back spoke about patent, publish, and then rather than working industry has been something that at NCL we really had to do in translate technologies was thing that's always considered equally important as compared to machine or paper. So I think that is the culture that we have at NCL actually. Plus, I get visionary leaders who set up schemes like the scientist entrepreneurship scheme, which allows scientists to spin off company based on the technology that we have. Being such kind of an enabling ecosystem with Venture Center on the same campus, it's a technology business incubator which tells you about how you can commercialize your startup. I think has played a vital role in where we are today, right? So this is a summary slide that I just want to focus on. One is definitely having a robust technology is important, which should be safeguarded by both means and publications. Unless you have good scientific publication facing investors or do not want to believe in your technology. So it's important to have publications in some of the best journals internationally. I don't know if any of you follow Professor Robert Langer from MIT. He has done more than 50 different companies, right? Spin out from his lab. So he talks about how important it is to have a platform technology. So having a safe platform that can help you build up different Moderna vaccine, if you some of you have heard, is one of the technologies for that. Right? So having a platform that can cater to or solve various challenging problems in medicine is important to build a successful company. And I think intelligent act was something we looked at. Identifying an unmet need. As scientists or as academicians, we typically get wedded to our technology. And we are so passionate about that science that we forget to look at whether there is a real application. Is there somebody who really is going to pay for that kind of drug that you're developing on that kind? So is it? So talking to your customers, understanding that there is a large enough market. Team, I think I cannot talk enough about this, but passionate team is resilient because the challenges are on team. Every day there's a new challenge. So having a team who's passionate about it, who has a vision about how you see this growing, how this can go to market, what other than this you need to do to make it a successful start is very important. So having interdisciplinary people I think helps a lot. Like had engineers plus we had life science background people and now bringing in sales and business people. So it's a mixture of all of that that actually leads to a startup. In environment, I think first thing was enabling mechanisms. As I mentioned, the culture at NCL was something that we are having the right things in place which allow scientists to spin off your companies is important. Early stage funding from BIRAC can be especially for biotech have gestation. Science startups will have a longer gestation time, becomes very critical. And an incubation facility like a Venture Center, which is on campus, support you with your resource stuff to help you navigate your pathway. Plus, meet other like-minded entrepreneurs who are going through the same tough journey that you are going. Actually, helps you stay fast. Follow. Of course, while I'm talking here, this is my team who actually does all the hard work and delivers. So, a big thanks to the team. NCL, like mentioned, has been our technology partner, venture centers, and incubation. They have been supported to all these funders, investors, and really prominent angel investors as well who have guided us. So thank you so much for your attention. My email ID is here. Feel free to reach out and you can look at our website which talk for other details about the company.
Thank you, ma'am. This was a very informative session, and as Nitin sir mentioned today, that go for application-based research. So this was the best example of application-based research. And knowledge about silk and silkworms was only restricted till fabric. Today he got to know about new application about silks. So thank you, ma'am, for this talk. And I would like to request Hegde sir to felicitate ma'am. Ask whether there are any more questions. Yeah, any questions? Okay.
I'm happy that people didn't sleep after that. Didn't allow you. Yeah.
I would now like to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Ritesh Pandey. He is an entrepreneur, businessman, and strategist with an extensive PhD career in the industry. As the founder and CEO of Rises.io, Ajit sir has demonstrated his expertise in managing technically intricate projects, leading large teams, devising strategic initiatives, and successfully scaling businesses through industrial collaboration. Before establishing Rises Analytics Solution, he held key positions at globally recognized organizations such as SSB, TCS, Sangard, CDAC, SAS, and Heritage. His professional journey has also led him to California, where he honed his skills and contributed to the industry for 5 years. Sir holds a master's degree from the National Institute of Technology, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, showcasing his commitment to academic excellence. His tenure at HSB saw him as the head of Big Analytics Data Factory, overseeing substantial initiatives in data analytics. During his association with TCS, he took multiple roles, including delivery partner for big data analytics and leadership of Capital Markets Innovation Lab. His responsibilities encompass pre-sales, solutioning, and managing cyber teams. Under his leadership, Rises has become a pioneer in developing solutions for healthcare sector. Leveraging technologies such as machine learning, deep learning, big data, blockchain, cloud, Rises has created a successful business and an artificial intelligence platform. Notably, the clinical decision support software solution addresses a spectrum of diseases, including cancer, TB, COPD, and COVID-19, facilitating both treatment and screening and treatment response assessment through the integration of medical imaging and comprehensive patient data. Ajit Deshpande sir actively contributes to industry beyond the boardroom. As a speaker, he engages with diverse forums, sharing insights on application of artificial intelligence and blockchain in healthcare and life sciences, as well as also in banking and financial services. His commitment to advancing technology and its impactful application underscores his role as a thought leader in the intersection of business and technology. I welcome Mr. Ajit Deshpande to share a story of success for our students.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for inviting. IRSHA looks like a great platform. I was not aware of. And thanks, Dr. Akia. Such a wonderful and the good learning for me. I did not thought, yeah, I know Excel, I know Dr. Prerna, but then, making a technology company out of it, it's not easy. We are going through that phase of product market fit. We raise the funds. Next level is even more tougher. You know. Sometimes you need to either stay as an innovator or you stay completely a reseller. Being both it becomes very difficult. They're two different worlds altogether. But anyway, so mine is very different. My background is also different than Anuya. So uh, I'm from the software background, and I would just rather than my story, whatever I could gain out of this journey, would like to share with you. So I think we talked about this team building and think big ideas. People keep on talking about it. Being a young people, you might be doing PhDs or doing graduation, post graduation. You keep on hearing this. How nobody knows. Take risk. It means what? Take a field or something. I don't know what it means. I left the job and started this. I was not very happy because there is a salary. So what do you mean by that? That we have to define. Take some funds. Think at this stage, what you need most is this critical thinking and analytical skills. So as a company, what we do is we analyze this X-ray, CT scan, mammography, and we try to tell where exactly the disease is and pre and post treatment, what is the response to the treatment. That kind of technology we develop. And in medical world, it is called decision support software. And it's way toward the better patient management. That's what our aim is. So the journey, as I said, it is a tough journey. We started with definitely something else because my founders, they were coming from very heavy capital markets background. Here in India, mostly the bank is the saving bank account. Capital market is nowhere related to saving bank account. Very different thing. We developed something, but difficult to enter. And then we got an opportunity to work on healthcare. And interestingly, it was from Japanese. Japanese go for the evidence, means they want me to visit the hospital. I told I never visit the hospital. I don't like even drinking water. They forget about food and even if I was never admitted, fortunately for several years, so I don't go to hospital. But then they told me to do that as a consulting assignment to give a view on how AI can be used for the medical field. Whether it is for devices, it's for medical implants, or whether it is diagnostic related AI, something to do how they can investigate and invest more on that field. That was the starting point. We developed some algorithms because we anyway coming from very heavy software and deep learning, machine learning background, and gradually now we're at this stage. Our product validations are done. We earned some revenue, but definitely the market want us to show more quote unquote. It is called product market fit. Somebody ready to use their product and they're using it for something. And in the due course, we definitely raise one round of funding from friends and family and fools. They are my ex-colleagues. So somehow they trusted me and put some money. So yeah, but in a way it's very useful to survive. In a way it's not useful because you don't get guidance. In India, the guidance means the knowledge. In America and other countries, the guidance means they directly connect to the customer. They'll connect to the big investor. That is, they'll give two guidance or three connects, three top connects. That is called guidance. Unfortunately, our ecosystem is evolving. I will show you. We got some good ecosystem, but not at the stage of US. So definitely my team is spread. I'll come to that. So we started in Pune, whole thing concepts and what to do, how to do. There's a lot of whiteboarding and discussions with on the phone. And then suddenly during the COVID time, I think we software people are used to remote working anyway. So we did not feel much. We put the heads down, developed the algorithm, published the papers, and now our mentors are sitting in US, and my sales head is now in London. So they can drive much better. That's what I think. Still, I have the larger responsibility of CEO and founding CEO. We were talking about this the Atal Innovation System. I'm definitely thankful to them. I've been visiting Delhi, this Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog. Sometimes they call me to become on the board, so I'm not interested, truly speaking. But yeah, whatever way I can contribute back, I do. I think this is a great innovation system we have the country got called Atal Innovation Mission. It is the incubation I got it is in Ahmedabad. It is one of the largest, the first Pharmacy College of India called LN College of Pharmacy. And this is an innovation center there, so we get a lot of benefits of getting incubated in a good incubation center. And one more incubation center, I think the ecosystem is very important, kind of connects and what you can learn from them. Another stuff we may be soon entering is into the Telangana Quality Hub, and we are anyway maintaining good relationships with IIT Bombay Sign also. So what you get out of this is sometimes it feels good. I don't know whether it's useful or not, but your name is shined in the newspaper because this is my alma mater. That's where I studied. When I visited, they put the name and big press release. They want to put the posters on the streets also. And you get good publicity. Useful or not, I have no idea. If I get government projects locally, that's what I'm trying for. Then I can say this is a success story. Otherwise, this is a newspaper, it's yesterday's newspaper. You just forget about it. Another stuff is I got a chance to talk in some of the medical conferences. I don't know, they make fun out of me or they just call Dr. Rajit, not a doctor. I talked in some of the medical conferences on this evidence-based management for cancer. So, yeah, good appreciations from the Atal Innovation Mission and the big. Suddenly, when we visited Gujarat, this is another doctor working near Dr. Samir Shah. He speaks to the Gujarati. So this guy suddenly came in and started our interview. I did not even know what to talk. But the entire questions were in Gujarati, and I was answering in Hindi and English, and still they printed some. It helped me in some cases in the hospitals, etc. They feel, oh man, this is you're doing something. Yeah, good. So from the now coming back to the topic, I think this 5 C's. Dr. Anu also talked in a different language, but it is one and the same thing. So I think it starts with your top one is the conviction and or your passion, how you want to do it. And it doesn't matter what that passion is. I think that's where the starting point for me also. People feel Ali, you have a lot of passion. You don't have sales skill. Okay. Good. So you have to accept it. You cannot give it just forget about it. They feel like you have great commitment. I've been going for 5 years, heads down. Some people to ask me, okay, how many full time? So sometimes I get irritated, like, okay, I'm working say 7 days all the weeks. Yeah. If I'm sick, it's a natural break. Otherwise, there is no break. Weekends are good for me. I work over weekends. This is another comment I got in my recent visit to Hyderabad. That you looks very confident. I said, okay, good. It took me several years to build that confidence. Because initially, I was less spoken, less articulate. So now people feel, oh, so I see there is some improvement, in me. As opposed to my co-founder, he's a PhD from Paris. People don't even remember him. He's such a knowledgeable person. But he speaks technology, he speaks the AI and those stuff, accuracies, and people they don't even remember all that stuff. So something you have to build that other people feel you are confident. You howsoever you're confident doesn't matter. The communication is a lot of scope to improve because now myself sitting in London, he's a Irish born, he's a UK citizen. So you have to learn a lot of stuff from the way they communicate, whether it is verbal, written, or the way we are talking to the like one of the customers we are trying is a big client called Helion. It's a very big organization, almost $38 billion market cap. And then the most important stuff which you are not able to see, that's why I am also not able to see, is the conversion, means converting that thing into large business. So that is what we are aiming for. So I think if you in your state, you haven't started anything. Some of you did start doing Gujarat, Telangana, also they are doing MBBS and still they started the company. I think they are doing reasonably well. It's not that like you have to pass out of the college and then only you can do it. It's not that. That's not true. In India also you get a lot of opportunities. But basically, what problem you select and how do you solve that? The critical thinking is very important. How do you solve the business problem? Dr. Anya was talking about, okay, I am so passionate, I am so knowledgeable about the chemicals and silk and everything. But then is market really looking for it? That becomes, how do I solve that problem? So that becomes a very, very important point at least for me also. So coming to the Gen Next, I don't know if you are not using it, you can leave the room. Just on the lighter side. But why I'm telling all these things, this becomes like a academic lecture. University inquiry, what is this? Developing the analytic skill. This is not written by me. This is generated through ChatGPT. Okay. This is ChatGPT. If you are not using ChatGPT, you are out of date. You have to start using immediately. While I'm talking, register, start using it. Within 2 years, you cannot think like that. First, you have to use it. Think beyond. Think beyond. Then everything is generated by ChatGPT. I just put the colors on it. This is not me. So now coming to area where focusing this slightly complex area, I see that lot of black color. When we keep on working with the radiologist and medical professionals, these are all black and white people, dark rooms, and very serious places. Doctor, in the hospital, you see only three type of people, right? One is are the patient and their relative, they're so depressed. We used to make up doctors, they're so happy jumping up and down. Even if they have diabetes, they eat sugar, so they are also happy, energetic. And people like me who are visitor, who don't know what to do there, right? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a patient. So this is what we do. This is the uh, for breast cancer, we are able to detect some of the lesions. Some work we did with Tata Memorial Mumbai on the breast cancer lesion detection, response assessment, etc. And the technology backbone, we have built a platform to onboard various technologies. And these are some of the algorithms we use. If you are from software background or AI background, it will make a lot of sense to you. So basically, we use all kinds of algorithms to build a product, medical product. Medical product is basically if the person is having tuberculosis, how do you know that? How do you confirm it using X-ray? How do you confirm with say CT scan, so etc. And now most of these doctors are also aware of it. I went to a few hospitals in Hyderabad last week, and they have already adopted few products in AI for brain imaging and for AUBCT, that is for kidney stone detection. So they have already adopted. They are looking for something, and they want to know why AI is saying this. Why AI is saying this means you have a disease, whether you have a lesion for breast cancer. Why you are saying this? This is called uh, explainable AI. Explainable AI. So they are looking for the reasoning behind why you are saying this. So we are moving toward it. It's a slightly difficult area for the unless you prove that this is the way, this is why I'm saying this. And they ask random question like how many data I use for training and everything. These are irrelevant questions for me. That's my secret sauce, how I train my model, right? But they are interested in that because they are actually asking this question. Explainable. The applications perspective. So because we don't do everything, but I just want to keep a slightly broader perspective for you, so there could be multiple opportunities. Since I focus on healthcare and diagnostic, I thought this could be the forum just to give a broader view to you. Yeah. So coming to these technologies, we use all three kind of learnings from deep learning perspective. We use the brute force learning, that is statistical learning, that's the first step. Then semi-supervised learning with labeled data. And third one is Bayesian the model with the help of domain experts. So all three levels of learning we use, and that can be applicable to anything. For example, now you want to write something to detect the face, which is the which is technology face is already using. They used in Uttar Pradesh, right? So the police is also using that technology. So whatever that entire story goes like this. These are the steps we also use. No different. So many of the instances now they are actually I think they are lesson off. So people feel AI is this. What is AI? They have seen some movies and they have seen the robotics and so what I feel is it's not just about data, it's not just analytics, it's not just the automation or taking away the jobs. It is very different than that. It may be a deeper impact. So that you have to read the some of these word reports, right, from MIT and other people. So there are several myths. I just take one, and a good example from the medical perspective. If you are able to do something at say confidence level of say 90% or you are saying 100% this is correct. So 100% accuracy is not possible. That is simply cheating. Simply cheating. So the accuracy for us the accuracy is what AI says and what doctor says. If it is matching, so maybe in 90% times, then my accuracy is 90%, 90%. 10% is disagreement. Disagreement. So that's my gold standard. That's what I do. And another stuff is many times the people ask, can we replace a doctor? Can we just replacing the mundane jobs? Yeah, it can, but then that is not the use. And as I said, even ChatGPT in open AI, those technologies are handy to you. How to use, how to leverage, it is obvious. But if you are doing the very routine kind of job and applying for a job or career or company, which is not obvious, they will not pay you. Why they will pay? Because it's like open AI giving those answers. Even my kid is now 12, so to write a letter to her teacher, she used OpenAI. As simple as that. Why think? Think beyond. Think beyond. Otherwise, you will not be paid. That. So there are several myths. More data, more accuracy. Doctor also tell me. I said, doctor, I'm not looking for your data. Don't tell me. I don't care about your data. I have my own database that collection. With my collaboration, I have 10 hospitals already in multiple universities I work with. So I don't need their data now. Initially, we are looking for more data. These are and then these are some of the models you can obviously read. I just want to flash this slide for 30 seconds, telling you where could be this GPT-4 based models. The 3.5 and 4, there is a big jump there, and there are more multiple part, and everybody has their own products. One similar technology. What it does, it takes into account your imaging data, your voice data, research data, and combine it, and then you can kind of ask the questions. They become a conversational models. So this is more on the say cardiovascular, how exactly this department will interact in future. Then again the some of the pipeline models when we have different type of data and how do we combine it together and the multimodal input and output both are possible. This will be heavily used in the research field also, and the commercial they are just adopting it. Most of the CIOs in US they are given the mandate to give a snapshot on how they are going to use AI, how they are going to use Gen AI and products. So there are some of the multimodal models. So understand where the lesser data is required. It's where we applied for Bionac for a couple of times. There is no gaps. They did not for us. So I think in India also all these people they look for something physical. Software they feel okay. Software is free, so why not? They don't understand what kind of effort. In Birac calls also I called my doctors, they were wearing the caps, one patient on the OT and serious patient, and they took time out for 10 minutes coming on the call. Till by that time people said that's fantastic, but no calls. I said okay, market will support. So these are some of the mechanisms for generative adversarial networks. Where you need lesser data. This is different kind of learn. And then in India and everywhere you saw that need during this pandemic there is a great need for remote care. Previously doctor used to touch and test you the clinical means they check your pulse and everything. Now nobody will touch you. All remote. Put the devices, get the readings done. And they say don't come to the hospital, just pay my money on whatever need. So this is a models we are also trying to push hard how we can help in the rural India. No, I don't know because we're really talking about natural intelligence or human intelligence or AI. So there are several clinical applications. So currently, as I was talking, one of the large pharma companies I'm talking to. So we will be using this product from the diagnostic side to track that response to their treatment. Well, for osteoporosis or something, they are pain management products. So what exactly the knee pain is, and put the medicine, and again check on the X-ray where it is reduced, depressed. They want to generate that evidence. Unless they have the evidence, it will not be easy for them to even compete nowadays. Everybody want a scientific evidence. So these are some of the applications we are working on. And the technology, as I said, I thought some students might be really interested in knowing this technology, but this is the entire technology stack what we use, the TensorFlow, Xenos, and this like from NVIDIA it is GPUs, and from Google it is TensorFlow unit GPUs. So there's several things. So we use most of that. Whatever is required solves a particular problem. Not everything is not for everyone. And application to radiology. So I just talked about the various chest X-rays, and this is a huge application for X-ray. X-ray being the primary modality. And by the way, mammography, CT scan, they are also a form of X-ray only. They are slice by slice, more slice, less slice. Typically, mammography is 4 slice, 2 per breast. That's what they do. Low intensity X-ray. In 3D tomosynthesis, they take about 300 slice. And that much radiation exposure you will get. And what we do is we detect some of these areas on the various forms. So you may or may not understand, but just wanted to see like how exactly these things are detected by human being, and then vis-a-vis how AI is also trying to help the doctor with bringing the accuracies, increase their efficiencies. Another example for India, unfortunately, there are in multiple cases India is a leader here, even for diabetic patients, even for that there are input analysis output. So these are some of the stuff I wanted to show you when you want to see the depth of the problem and how do I solve it. I could not hear the morning session, but I'm sure they might have talked about more in-depth problems. So she talked about more problem which even I was not aware that this is such a severe problem and such a wonderful solution can be built. So what this was during the COVID time, people started thinking about it more seriously. So diabetes is increasing. How do I reduce it? And some of the detection of the type 2 diabetes. Now you always see somebody at home or your relatives or they take the prick test, blood test, everything. So now somebody has come up with a research saying that you can do it on the chest X-rays. And one of the indications you can do on the eye camera, also you can do some of the diabetic related tests. So as I said, in diseases, many things, we are that there also we are leader. This is also make in India. We feel like foreign food we are eating, that's it. It is true. This is just because of our own deeds. Wrong eating, wrong health, etc. This is nobody else's problem. We have created it. So again, the cancer is growing in case some areas. the mortality rate for breast cancer is more than 50%. It's a very, very high, heavy rate. And in rural Maharashtra, this area, they don't treat the ladies if it is going to the so from say stage two. Actually, stage one cancer etc. can be cured. People know about it. But after stage two, they simply live to die. There is no treatment. They don't go for treatment. It's very expensive. Some of the treatments are very expensive. So that's the reason we put some of the solutions. We haven't worked on histopathology. But histopathology is also one of the key areas where they do the magnification of on the lens. The AI, our algorithms are able to detect something we haven't productized this. But for mammography, we have done that for response assessment and various aspects. So let's say the various aspects of the segmentation, diagnosis, staging. These are the various aspects of diagnosis, and these are the type of AI algorithms we build. Again, there is increasing pattern of tuberculosis. So in India, the active number of patients last year was about 28 lakhs. So it goes say beyond 30 lakhs active patients in India, a country of say 130 crores. That raises a lot of concern from for WHO. So look at this number and that number, but that is uncontrolled disease. Disease, any disease cannot be more than 0.2%. Active patients. Otherwise, it becomes like havoc for the country. So that's the importance. And at the prime minister level, they want to reduce this, get rid of tuberculosis, and that's where some of our solutions we have been approved by ICMR for this. ICMR and Central TB Division, they shortlisted us. And some commercial engagements are now we are eyeing for some good contracts for tuberculosis with a collaboration with X-ray maker, portable X-ray machines. So my idea of going it through obviously through collaborations and build that collaborations. So I think this is no longer a humor now because Google has already provided this feature, right? If you set it properly, they will give a call back to you. Google has this feature. Whether you want to use it or not, that's completely up to you. I don't know. So I think there are boundless abilities of this artificial intelligence, Gen AI, Open AI, which one to use, which one not to use. That is up to you. There is several debates in medical, legal, and ethics and other fields also going on. You might have heard the case of Volkswagen. Where somebody died and who killed it? Machine killed or human being. There is a case debating driverless car for Ola. So that lady I think somebody was crossing the road and this driverless car hits her. It's a YouTube also you can find that video. And the passenger is reading the book. There is no driver there. And suddenly it comes and the sensor somewhere failed. They could not detect in the street US. And now the case is going on whom to blame. So the passenger is reading book. There is no driver. This completely AI driven. But that is future, and that anyway in the US it's not a future; it's a reality. So that there are possibilities are infinite. You have to think like how you want to take it forward. And Tupani also so very strong in technology, very strong in the creation and in the market. This is anyway required. So that's the reason now my sales head, team building kind of stuff. The sales head, I was reporting to him during my HSBC. HSBC is a bank. He was my CIO sitting in London. He was my boss. Very highly paid. Now he is passionate and he wants to drive the whole thing because somebody could not survive during the breast cancer. So that's his passion. You never know who is passionate about who. So I think I feel it's big opportunity for everybody to give. So I look for that. Long years I've spent. If they want to spend few more and that's like you cannot resist to spend more time, money. And coming to the lighter side, 3 4 months I traveled almost 10 states. I can name the cities. Excellent food. India is a diverse country. I used to work for TCS. I used to work for HSBC. Traveled a bit, but not this extensively. These all this my travels are related to the conferences, meeting the clients, meeting the governments, meeting the investors. I think from the investor perspective, my experience is in India, a lot of money is there, people want to invest, but they don't want to hear the technology pitch. They want to hear more emotional pitch. They want to hear more on the how they build their business. A diamond merchant, he claims to be now third largest diamond exporter for India. He sits in Bharat Diamond Boards. He said, no, no, don't tell me that valuation goes up, etc. I spent 40 years in this industry. I built this. My standing is 5,000 crores. So you also work hard. That's, so that level of thinking is there only in India. In US, you have to inflate, tell more about your. And some of the foods that right hand side, I would rate number one food that is Kolkata. Okay, best food, and I don't know why India is not exporting this kind of sweets and food. That is one of the even the silk and kind of clothes you get there. Amazing. Amazing. So I think, and this all, as I said, these are conference in Varanasi for TB conference we have been invited. So various cities, maybe I can just name and talk about it. But I think of this entrepreneurship, it's all fun also. Not all the time because I keep on working, keep on talking the same thing, but still enjoy. So you can always connect me on the social media, LinkedIn, emails, Twitter. And just a very quick to some wind up the session. These are some of my folks, who are most the international folks. I haven't put the sales guy from London. His name is now Karen F. The Karen's name I haven't put, but most of these people are diverse experience, doctors, technologists, and we need some women also because many of people mandate. We got one grant for social impact project from HDFC and Mighty, and we have a good set of advisors, mentors. So yeah, we published about 72 papers now. I would like to stop here. The what to do? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir, for this insightful talk and introducing us to AI. I think in biological research and AI, this common thing is larger the data, stronger is the evidence. Same thing goes in developing the artificial intelligence. So I thank you, sir, and I request Hegde sir to felicitate Ajit sir. And before that, any questions from anyone? I have a question. Why required AI in diagnostic sector? AI की जरूरत diagnostic sector में
नहीं वही तो मैं बात किया ना कि क्वेश्चन इज अदर वे अराउंड ऐसा कोई फील्ड नहीं है जिसमें एआई की जरूरत नहीं है माय किड इज डूइंग आर्किटेक्चर आई टुक हिम टू मल्टीपल आर्किटेक्चर फॉर्म्स they told do the drafting go to the site he said no I don't want to do this so he is working on AI application for sustainable development. So remember, AI is part of everything now. You just cannot avoid it. You have to use it how that is your problem. And some way, like for example, now in case of Google Maps actually should pay you because you are marking, maybe labeling this area free for them, right? You are marking this area is not a college, this is a hospital, this is a temple, whatever. So for labeling, they should pay you, and you are using it free. Like you are not paying them. How they earn? It's completely machine learning based product, Google Maps. Not developed by them only originally, but somebody else. But now they own it, and big revenue comes from Ola, Uber. So these are the models. In diagnostic, there is a dire need because in India, like the concentration of doctors are more in cities. Pune, okay, very concentrated. You have luxury, I can knock the door. US, you cannot go to a doctor like that. You have to take the appointment. They will give, even if you have fever, they'll say take this tablet. Nurse will tell you. Doctor is available after 3 weeks. Radiologist in Japan, it is 3 weeks waiting for a normal CT scan. See, here also there is a need. In rural areas, India is different problem. In UK, it's again a different problem. For breast cancer, one of the case I saw, that lady has to wait 3 months to see the breast cancer surgeon, oncosurgeon. She has to go through so much pain. You have to go to GP with general practitioner. They will recommend. Without recommendation, you cannot do the screening. Screening, take the medicine. What happens? 3 months are gone.
But how will the patient benefit from AI if he ultimately has to go to doctor?
No, doctor recommends it. The whole cycle, because doctors are not available.
Solve this problem.
So
That the doctor is not available.
correct. For 3 months cycle, now we are claiming we can do it in 4 minutes. I do the accurate diagnostics.
No, okay, diagnosis, treatment.
Treatment is different. Most of the
No,
time
ultimately treatment is important. Na?
it is stuck with the many times the medicines are available, but then the diagnostic, what exactly happened, that takes more time. The investigation takes more time. Once it is decided you are tuberculosis, the pills are there. They are freely available. Take this.
But would you be able to develop a diagnostic, whatever analysis you are doing, to connect it to the doctor who would be able to get now in the rural area, they have got something and you are able to use your AI for diagnosis. Ultimately, they have to be connected to the doctors for treatment.
Yeah, it is. Our product is purely medical product. And we are not giving it to the patients. It only for the healthcare workers. And to be more precise, it is for doctors only. But many times what happens is if you also look at your 2 months are gone. In case of cancer, it is longish cycle. With other
Who will administer your AI product
doctors.
in the rural?
Rural, then these ASHA workers are there. There is a problem is different. Rural area, what happens is for tuberculosis, now the response time for their detection, it's 3 weeks. By the time patient runs away, sputum test is taken, sent to some other city, bioculture, etc. they do, get the report back. Then only they can start the medicine. Medicines are reached to every place, but the person should be detected and diagnosed with tuberculosis. The diagnostic is the main problem. Main problem. Once you say confirmed diagnostic, this person is having tuberculosis because these are pleural thickening is there. There's so many conditions. You start the treatment.
So you are saying 90% reliability is there.
Yes. Yes.
In which states are measured the 90% of reliability?
It varies. For example, now in case of chest X-ray, some conditions are rare. Like hernia is a rare condition. But in case of like pneumonia, opacity, they are normal. So their accuracy shoots up to our accuracy is 98%. In breast cancer lesion detection on the mammography, our accuracy is 95%. It varies a bit, but still it is more than 90%. And in case of some rare things, conditions, it is called over-reporting. Means even if you think like it may be a possibility, doctor will miss it. So just let them know that this is a condition I found. It may be a wrong signal. They are more than happy to listen to that. They are more than happy to listen. They don't want to miss anything. So that kind of surgeons, etc., they want more precise distance from the organ, exact location, and don't tell me foolish things. Just focus on where exactly I need to operate. So that kind of robot I haven't made, but the robots are available for dental surgery. But there is no human being. You just sit there and they will just
Bone surgery.
no, there is no human being.
Robot.
You go inside. That's it.
I
We haven't worked. I have some data about 10,000 patients of eye.
also got robot surgery.
Yeah, but they are human operated. Like Da Vinci's, he is the surgery which is done from the stomach for the liver and other organs. On the imaging, they operate like this, sitting in the. But patient is next door. If something goes wrong, they will enter the room and cut the body. They will actually open the heart. They have to open it. It's more complex part. We focus on the detection aspect and response assessment, bringing the accuracy where there is a need. So another example, we are working with Indian Navy. The project hasn't yet started. What we demonstrated them is for the abdominal trauma. The abdominal trauma are blunt injuries, all of the bicycle or war injuries, and somebody hits you. So the internal organ, like spleen, liver, they get small amount of bleeding, and that can become fatal because if it is not early detected. So algorithm detects within just few seconds. And they raise the alert. What are the accuracy doesn't really matter to them. 80% good enough. And they know what to do. What they know,
At
they
least you
know.
get a warning.
Because otherwise, from body, you don't know what is happening. You just lift the patient, you just take the X-ray. X-ray is taken when you know what to read that X-ray. Our technology will just tell you what CT scan. This is a problem. This is not a problem. You can relax. So that can save the life. That's what I think the application.
मैं ये पूछ रहा था कि आप जो कह रहे हैं कि इसकी 90% एक्यूरेसी है, 90% रिलायबिलिटी है, वो रिलायबिलिटी आपने किस साइंटिफिक एविडेंस से निकाली?
But that we collect all the evidence. As I said, the gold standard in this industry is the what clinician is saying. For example, now doctor says there is a rib cage fracture, and AI is also saying there is a rib cage fracture and where it is. The AI will tell exactly to locate the region with a small box. We call bounding box. Doctor will call annotation. The annotation is also more or less matching. Then doctor is happy. He agrees. So if that agreement for 100 cases is more than 90%, then accuracy is more than 90. Calculate. Data science accuracy is different. When we train the model, we keep 30% data with us, train the model and test on that 30%. So clinical accuracy is different. Technical accuracy is 98% because we are expert in the tuning the algorithms by seeing the model. So clinician you cannot cheat them. Very difficult. You cannot cheat because they don't know what is the background and what is software. They look everything as a software only. Don't care.
Thank you, sir. We cleared our doubts regarding AI, and I request Agri sir to felicitate Agri sir. Thank you very much. I, on behalf of entire team of Institutions Innovation Council at IISHA, extend a gratitude and appreciation each one of you for making this event a resounding success. We would like to express our deepest thanks to our speakers who shared with us their stories and invaluable insights. Nitin Gandhi sir, Kaustubh Naik sir, Anuya Nisar madam, and Ajit Deshpande sir. All of your stories have inspired us and motivated us. Your talk must have initiated some thoughts of business in our mind of our research population. So we are grateful to the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell at AICTE for their support and collaboration in fostering innovation and entrepreneurship within our educational and research institutions. I would like to acknowledge and thank our IRSHA teaching and non-teaching and administrative staff for contributing to the program and making the event run smooth. Last but not the least, a big thank you to our audience for participating and your energies to learn and your enthusiasm for innovation are what makes our event like this so rewarding. Thank you once again for being a part of this event, and we look forward to more such events and gatherings in future. Thank you all, and do like, share, and subscribe our page on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube channel. So thank you once again.
Good morning.